pretty much exactly like soccer, except for more like basketball and nothing like soccer.
All right, we're here at the Behemoth booth, and who am I talking to?
My name is John Baez, and I'm the producer and co-founder here at the Behemoth.
And you're showing BattleBlock Theater at this PAX. It looks like an awesome game. It looked like an awesome game last year and the year before that too. So you just announced right before the show, release date is April 3rd?
Yes, April 3rd. Not April 1st, definitely not April.
That would have made for an interesting reveal video.
We pushed for that, but it falls on the wrong day of the week.
So I know a lot of people are excited. We've seen the game at prior shows, so that's great that we're still excited for it. How do you follow up on success like Castle Crashers? I mean, everybody's expectations have to be huge.
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I hope we meet their expectations. We've been playing and having just as much fun playing a different genre for us because, of course, Castle Crashers was more of a beat-em-up, and this is more of a platformer. So doing an entirely new genre for us is great and really refreshing and really kind of keeps everybody motivated in the studio.
So your games always seem to center on the same couch co-op and same couch head-to-head, which is something that we don't see a whole lot of anymore. Do you guys just sit around the studio playing each other? How do you get any work done?
Well, no, actually it is actually easy to get work done because we can see through our usability studies in our usability lab and just sitting down and playing with people after work that, you know, a lot of forward progress is getting made and it's feeling like the right type of game. So it's really just a fun interaction of how to make the game as good or as great as possible. Yeah.
Now, if you're antisocial like me and play a lot of games by yourself, I know BattleBlock can be played single player. How does the game differ in that respect when you're playing single player compared to cooperatively? Or
well, of course it's an entirely different game if you're playing it all by yourself, but that's not and I think it's an amazing game as a single player campaign. Always helps if you have somebody else there, you know, to help you, because it's slightly different if you have, you know, one person versus, you know, two people, because the interaction is totally different. And then, of course, if you're going into the arena modes, it's completely different. But I think that's kind of what kind of lengthened the development cycle, was breaking it out into these different types of games, because the gameplay that you play in arena is totally different than the gameplay, the single player experience. Yeah.
Now, big part of the charm for this game is the humor. It's just completely out there. I love that stuff. But as a producer, how do you rein that in? I imagine it can get completely insane.
Well, it's actually pretty easy because everybody kind of knows where we need to fall to be in teen rating. And we're not going anywhere unless we have a teen rating, really. You know, there's just too many restrictions if you're an M-rated game. So, you know, that's kind of everybody is. There's a lot of great outtakes, but they'll never see the light of day.
Yeah, so you got the one guy in the back that throws out his joke, and everybody just kind of looks at him like, eh. Yeah. And they go home and laugh about it.
It's good.
Now, the levels in the game were all created. The tool set that you used to make those are going to be included with the game.
Yeah.
It's hopefully easy to use.
Yeah, you know, it's no more complicated than any other editor out there, and we feel through you know our work with both the beta and usability that it's actually quite easy to generate levels. And what we're hoping is that because it's fairly easy to generate levels, that people will take the time to make something very engaging. Because what we have a curated feed. So if your game, if your level is good enough, and we see it and we like it, then we'll put it on our curated feed, and then people. Of course, you can get to your levels different ways, but we're really hoping that by us kind of hand-picking what we feel are the best, it'll make for a great experience of both if you want to create levels for yourself, or if you want to find something new to play.
Well, that's great. Castle Crashers, big part of that success was the community. So having something like this that people can cooperate in or collaborate on, that should be great. Last thing we'd like to talk about heading into the future. Your first game, honestly, Castle Crashers was the first Xbox Live Arcade game I ever played at a buddy's house. Now this is coming out towards the tail end of that generation. For a company that works in the downloadable space, what are you looking forward to out of the next generation of systems going on?
I think as a smaller developer, self-publishing company, one of the main things that we would like to see in the next generation is as good or better discoverability, no matter what platform, what console it's on. As the number of titles increases, it becomes increasingly difficult to find games. And even if the games are there, if they're somewhere, if they're somewhere on the service, the struggle is to find them. And so, for us, discoverability is the #1 feature that we would like to see, and that means not having a search methodology that is not current.
Also, not firing up the store to see 100 ads for things that aren't related to the games.
You want to make sure that when you're there to play a game, there's not too much holding you back from purchasing that game and playing it.
Well, great. Hopefully nothing's holding people back from purchasing this game when it hits. It looks amazing. Yeah. It's a blast to play, and I really love that you have it set up like an old school arcade setup in there. That's great.
Super fun.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us, and I hope you have a great show for the rest of the weekend.